Good morning, everybody. This is Ken Iverson again in Kent, Washington, USA, in the great United States of America, the great Pacific Northwest, near Seattle, about 20 miles southeast of Seattle. Before I get started, I want to say something. I want to situate myself and let you know when this is being recorded, the circumstances under which it's being recorded, the whole thing. It snowed in Kent yesterday, in the Seattle area, in the Puget Sound area. It snowed yesterday, and I can hear the maintenance man for my apartment right now outside of my window shoveling snow off the sidewalk. It has been a big snowstorm, and it's crippling. It's crippling driving and that in the area. Many of the schools are closed, and it's the first snowstorm of the season. It's sort of unusual for here in Seattle. That being said, let me get on. I have really important things to talk about this morning. If I'm right, World War III is the possibility of World War III is beginning right now. You may be able to see it. I have CNN on behind me, and let's see, who is this? Let me see. Oh, this is Kate Middleton and Prince William. That's important, but it's not nearly as important what I'm going to talk about. Uh, Kim Kim Jong Il is waving sabers right now at the U.S. He attacked an island off of South Korea yesterday and killed three South Korean military men. And I said in a previous YouTube recording that I thought World War III would start in the Middle East. I'm not convinced of that now. I'm not convinced of that. I think it could start in Korea. It could start right now. And the pundits are talking about a policy by Obama called, what is it, alliance-centric policy. That means we come to the aid of our allies. That's first and foremost our allies. And if Kim Jong-il, in the first scenario, if Kim Jong-il had it right, he would be alliance-centric with Iran. And according to these pundits, Obama is alliance-centric with South Korea. And South Korea has been attacked. So what do we do now? I ask you, what do we do now? Stay tuned. We may not have much more time left on this earth. I may sound like I'm panicking. I'm not, because I'm prepared. But this could be the end of a life on Earth in the next matter of hours, the next matter of days, the next matter of weeks. Or it could happen. It could happen 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, 6 months from now, or a year from now. But I believe that we're headed down that road right now to all-out nuclear war. And if we have all-out nuclear war, the scenario I talked about, the doomsday scenario, Armageddon scenario on Facebook will become a reality. And I've talked to two of those, and you can go to Facebook, or you can, maybe I'll record later today about the doomsday scenario. First of all, before I go on, let me just, this may be the last recording I do, because if I'm right, North Korea can reach the west coast of the United States with its ICBMs. And they have the bomb. We know that. There's no doubt that they have the bomb. And they could reach with our ICBMs. They could reach, well, first of all, they could reach Alaska. And then they could reach Juneau or whatever, Sitka. They could reach Anchorage. And then they could reach Seattle with their ICBMs. I'm on the west coast. I'm near Seattle. We are in Kent here, and in Seattle, the Puget Sound area are vulnerable. They could also reach Portland, I'm pretty sure. They could reach San Francisco, Los Angeles, and San Diego. And if that's the case, then it may be over for us. And I don't think they can reach probably Washington, D.C., or Dallas, or Chicago, or Miami, but they can reach the west coast of the United States, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, that was part of the scenario. Was after the war started in the Middle East, the Koreans would come to the aid. North Koreans would come to the aid of Iran, and it started with the preemptive strike against Iran by Israel, and then North Korea enters into the fray, and then from there The United States gets involved after we bomb. This is the scenario. This is the proposed. This is what I thought might happen, and it's a little bit different than I thought would happen. But it definitely is going to involve North Korea, or may involve North Korea, and the United States. And right now, Obama is huddling with his advisors, and as to what we do in response to the North Korean attack on South Korea. And so anyway, let me. I'm going to record today until I can't record anymore because this is important. Let me listen. No, they're talking about Haitians on what is this? This is CNN. Let me change the channel to. Let's see. Let me change the channel here to MSNBC. Here we go. What do we got here? What is MSNBC? 47. No. Okay, here we go. 44 is CNN. We'll get the latest news here. Well, we're back to CNN, to a commercial. At least if we're all gone in a matter of hours, we won't see any more commercials. That's a positive way of looking at it. I'm looking for positives any way I can see it. And anyway, how are we doing on time? We got lots of time here. Okay, the Obama has to decide now what we do about North Korea. I'm going to slow down and take it easy now. What do we do about North Korea? What do we do about North Korea? Do we launch a strike against them? What if they drop the nuclear bomb on Seoul? They've already shot 3 soldiers on an island off the South Korean coast. What do we do if they drop a bomb on Seoul? What does Obama do? God, I'm glad I'm not Obama. I'm glad I'm not Obama, but we must stay away from nuclear weapons. We must stay away from nuclear weapons, because that could mean, if we had an all-out nuclear war, it could mean the end of life on Earth as we know it. And not as we know it, just the end of life, all life. The only things that may survive, and I hope I'm not panicking anybody, I've lived with this scenario since last July 18th. The only thing that might be left on Earth are microbes and viruses and bacteria and so on. That's the only thing that'll survive an all-out nuclear war, in my opinion. If you want to know more, you do a YouTube video and tell me what you think, and I'll respond to it. But now they're talking about TSA and the pat downs. This is on CNN. You can see it over my shoulder there. Oh, boy, we got more important things to do. Bigger fish to fry than that today. Okay, I couldn't get MSNBC. MSNBC and CNN are the ones who are covering, giving the best coverage, in my opinion, of the thing that in Korea right now, between North Korea and South Korea. And what is Obama? Obama, it is, usually I record, it's 17 minutes to 11 Pacific Standard Time. And in Washington, D.C., that means it would be quarter to 2, 17 minutes to 2 in the p.m. in Washington, D.C. So Obama has probably had lunch, and he's probably with Axelrod and Valerie Jarrett and Rouse and the rest of them right now discussing what we do. And I hope he's thought about this long and hard before today, because we do not want people going off and making decisions at this crucial time. Making decisions, making a miscalculation. These things have to be thought through. They should have been thought through. I'm sure Obama has thought these through. It'll be his decision to make ultimately, and hopefully his advisors, Valerie and David Axelrod and Rouse and the rest of them, will make the right decision. It's up to us now. I kid you not. I don't think I'm talking through my hat. This is the most important point in human history right now. These hours, these minutes, and these days are the most important part of human history so far, and that covers a lot of history. So, what is this guy talking about? What is this Ken Iverson talking about? Why is he panicking? I don't think I'm panicking. I think the prospects of all-out nuclear war are greater right now at this very moment. Let's see. It's 10:46 a.m. in Kent, Washington, right now, and that's this right now. Let's see. It's when it goes to 10:46 a.m. and it's November 23rd, the day after President Kennedy was shot and killed in Dallas 47 years ago, November 22nd, 1963. And everybody who's listening to this, who was alive at that time, remembers exactly what they were doing and where they were at that time. I do. I was in a political science class at Stanford University, taught by Professor Dreckmeyer. It was on the Quad, the northwest corner of the Quad, a large auditorium. And it was a political science class, and Professor Dreckmeyer was talking about Marxism. This was a political science class. He was talking about Marxism, and the first indications out of Dallas was that the shooter, Lee Harvey Oswald, the one who killed, I believe, the only murderer, the only person who killed. I don't believe it was a conspiracy. Mark Lane notwithstanding, rest of judgment. I do not believe that Lee Harvey Oswald had any accomplices. It was a single act of a disgruntled man. And anyway, the first indications out of Dallas were that Lee Harvey Oswald, I don't think we knew his name at that time, but Lee Harvey Oswald the shooter was a Marxist. He had been in Russia, and that turned out to be true. Marina and he had gone to Russia some years before. I don't recall exactly when. Then I remember then Don Hughes he had a transistor radio. He was a fellow freshman at Stanford the year or two before with me, and he had the transistor radio, and he was listening to it in this political science class, and he said, the president's been shot, and then a few minutes later, he was still listening to the radio, he said, the president is dead. Professor Dreckmeyer said, the class is over for today, and we'll do it later. And I left, and as did my classmates, we made our way up to the student union, Tresidder Student Union, and watched television. And I watched it through the funeral. I watched Jack Ruby shoot Lee Harvey Oswald in the Dallas police station. That was on television. I watched John salute his father on, I believe it was Pennsylvania Avenue in front of the White House, whatever. And I witnessed history, and I remember exactly where I was, what I was doing, as did every American, probably everybody, most people in the world, because Kennedy was a love figure. As I found out the following summer when I went to Africa, all they wanted from me was a copy of Profiles in Courage, the book that John Kennedy had written before he became president. It's on the great presidents we've had, Adams and so on. Anyway, how are we doing on time? It's 13:52. We have about a minute here, and then I'll record another segment. I'm just going to go on and on today, keep on recording. And this may be the last recording. It may not be, but I'm convinced that we are close right now to nuclear war. And I will be listening over my shoulder, and I'll let you listen if you can hear it when we go on here. So it's 14:17. We have 15-minute segments here. So this is Ken Iverson on YouTube recording on November 23rd. Right now it is 10:50 a.m. in the morning. That's Pacific Standard Time. It's 1. Is that right? 1:50 in Washington D.C., where Obama is surely talking about this right now. So anyway, good luck, President Obama. I'm glad I'm not you. Well, I thought about this. I know what I would do, but we'll talk about that later. So take care. Bye-bye.